What is up, guys? David here from Overland Nomad, and let's jump in right into this review of this Newair 25 quart Jobsite fridge. I'm going to give you a little tour of it. I'm going to give you all the specs and pros and cons and what I think of this fridge. Stay tuned. This is a Newair 25 quart Jobsite fridge. This is perfect for a construction worker, plumber, electrician. If you're working out of your truck, this would be a fridge for you. This isn't a big fridge. This is probably one of the smallest fridges I've reviewed. There's not a lot of room in there, and I'll go over that in a little bit. This is, again, a 25 quarts. But what's really cool about this fridge is that it's got its own battery, and not just that, but you could buy adapters for this thing to use DeWalt batteries, Bosch batteries, Milwaukee batteries, and Makita batteries. And they gotta be 18 volt. They sell adapters for it. I honestly wanted to test my DeWalt batteries, but the bad news is that the website just doesn't have the adapters. They're out of stock, which is horrible because I think that was the most exciting part of this fridge. They did send me out their actual external battery that you can also buy from them. So I'm using this at the moment. As you can see, this is not plugged in at all to my power station onto the back. It's completely it's running on its own battery. This is a fridge slash freezer, so you can turn this down all the way to -4 degrees and bump it up all the way to 64 degrees. So if you want it to be a freezer, it could be a freezer, or it could be a fridge. It cannot do both. This is one zone, just single zone only. So you cannot do that. You can pick a freezer or fridge. This comes in at 28 pounds. It's really light, fairly small. As you can see here, it's in the back of my Frontier, a small pickup. It doesn't take up a lot of room. Price on this Newair fridge is $399 without adapters, without batteries, just a fridge alone. If you want to get the one with the battery like I do, like what I'm showing you right here, that would cost you $589. So again, $399 stock, just nothing, bare bones. $599 with the battery. The adapters are $20 a piece, so fairly cheap. So if you got your own batteries, you can just buy the adapter, and that's that. This does come with a 1-year warranty. You can check on their website, more specifics on that. Now let's talk about the exterior build of the Newair fridge here. It's very plasticky. Right off the bat, I will tell you, very plasticky. There's no aluminum, no metal. Look at these tie down points. It's all plastic. I mean, if you tie this really down to your truck, it's gonna snap off at some point. Look at that, it's really flimsy. The handles here, there's not much room, and that's all it goes, but it works. You got your connection here. This is your only connection you have. It comes with a little rubber cover there. This is where the compressor, all that components are in here. You got your wheels. This is really helpful. I like that. This is actually your battery compartment. There's 2 cup holder things here. You got your battery, and technically you have space for storage here or for another battery, which we'll talk about. It is yellow. They did it on purpose here because it's supposed to be construction, you know, it's supposed to be in the job site, it's supposed to be bright, so they made it really nice and bright, which I actually like the color. It's pretty cool. Let's talk about the handle. Again, plastic. Don't like that. You got another handle here. Show you the other side. There's nothing to it. You do have the lid hinges, which again, all plastic, and I will demonstrate how plasticky it is. If you were to open this, you definitely don't want to put too much on this because it will snap. Which, honestly, if this is supposed to be a construction kind of job site fridge, it's not that tough. It really isn't. You really do want to kind of be careful with this thing. Make sure you take care of it because it's not very tough. But it works. I will say that. It is a nice size, and we'll go over the other features in a little bit. Let's go over what we have here on our door. Let's look at the gasket here. It's a foam insulated kind of gasket that goes around and stops right here. You got a screw here. Wonder what that's for. Your whole lid, you know, the opener is all plastic. The hinges are plastic. On the inside, we have one LED strip here, which is really nice to have. I have reviewed some fridges in this kind of level of price and size that actually don't have LEDs inside, which is a bummer, but this one does. This one has no drain plug. I did notice that. So if something spills inside, there is no drain plug to open. I cannot test it because I don't have the other battery. But there is another charging connection, as you can see there. So there's one of these ports over here for this battery. So it seems like you can put another battery here, or maybe 2 DeWalt batteries running at the same time. The reason why I say that is because even in the advertisement and on the screen right here, I don't know if you can tell with my camera here, but you have your little picture of your battery, and then there's another little battery up here. Like if you were to connect another one, this one would come up. So you would have dual battery, and technically you're getting a reading of that battery 11.5 volts. There's another reading area right here. So possible that you can run 2 batteries. I don't see why not. They're both, there's 2 connections there. Now let's talk about the actual features of this fridge regarding the settings and all that. So you do have, like standard, like all fridges, you have your max and eco mode, you have your temperature settings, your power on and off, you have an USB-A charging port, you have your battery readout. That's pretty standard, pretty normal. And again, this is a nice little screen. I do like this a lot. Let's talk about the interior here, and let's open it up. I put a 25 pack of 16.9 fluid ounce water bottles in here, and they barely fit. This is as much as they'll go. I did notice that even the ones on the top are super cold. Some fridges that I've tested, stuff that you put on top here, it will not be that as cold as the ones on the bottom. These are cold. Actually, I barely opened this right now. I haven't really checked the ones on the bottom. I'm gonna check the ones all the way in the bottom, how they're doing. But I did notice that the bottle that was sitting here is frozen shut. It's completely frozen. So that's one thing to know, is if you're gonna have something right along this wall here, it's gonna be very, very cold. Let's see what we got here on the bottom. Let's see if any of the ones on the bottom froze over. Like this bottle right here I just took out, it's got some ice in it. And I set it to 34 degrees and it's reading at a 34 degrees. Yep, as you can see, this one's frozen over. It might have gained a little bit of temp, but yeah, it's marking around 30 degrees. So I would say this is not very accurate. 34 degrees is pretty much doing a 30-degree temperature. Yeah, a lot of this water is frozen. So that's a good thing to note. If you're gonna get this fridge, you want to mess with the temperature settings there and kind of set it a little higher, because actually it's overperforming, which is I guess a good problem to have. It's not bad. But you see some of these waters in the bottom, they're not frozen over, meaning that anything I guess along the walls of this fridge, they're gonna freeze over. That's from what I'm seeing right now. I do like this fridge. I think it's pretty good for like day trips. If you're gonna go to the beach, I go to the beach a lot for the day with my family. This fridge would be perfect for that. But for long trips, unless you're doing it by yourself, this is not a good fridge if you have more than one person, in my opinion. All right, let me show you guys how it looks in here. Yeah, as you can tell, there's nothing to it. Again, no drain plug. You got your Newair little barcode and kind of your specs model number on here. This is the NPR 025YLJ0, just as a reference. And as you can tell, those are all the water bottles I just took out. It's a 25 pack. So if you buy your typical 25 pack at Walmart, Target, wherever, it'll all fit in your fridge, ready for day of work. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this battery. This is the battery pack. It's got a power button, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 LEDs, small LEDs here, and then a big one here. This is a 173 watt hour battery. This is a fairly small power pack. I'm going to show you guys how long this lasted in a little bit. I did some testing in my backyard and I left it out there for a few hours, so I'll let you know how that one went. Now for the testing part of the Newair fridge. I have it out here in my backyard. It is right now 10:30 in the morning. It is 65 degrees. I'm going to leave it out here, and when I come back a little later, I'm going to check it out. I should be coming back here around maybe 4 o'clock, 4:30, and see where it's at. Right now we're showing full battery. I charged it completely. It's 35 degrees inside. It's on eco mode. Again, temperature right now is 65 degrees. The sun is going this direction. It's going from east to west. So around noon, the sun's gonna start hitting on this fridge, and then after that, it's just gonna keep going that way. So the sun will be hitting this for a few hours, which is really gonna put it to the test. If you're gonna have a fridge like this, you don't honestly want it to be in the sun like that, but for testing purposes, we're gonna see if this battery lasts this whole time. Let's open it up and see what we have inside. We just have some water bottles and some cans. There's not a lot of things in there to keep it going cold. It's gonna have a hard time staying cold. But again, let's test it out and see what happens. I am back, and it is 4:30 p.m. Temperature is 76 degrees. It's a little overcast. The sun was out, but the clouds come in. It's been in the sun now. There's no more shade. Let's check out where we're at. 2 out of 5 bars right now. 2 out of 5 bars. Yeah, these are cold. Performing pretty good right now. I'm gonna leave it out here to see how long it lasts. It's been 6 hours sitting out here. This would kind of simulate if you had it in the back of your truck or at the beach or something like that. It is 7 o'clock. Temperature's low 70s. It's kind of nice outside. It's not hot or humid. And we are at 1 bar left. Let's check out the inside here. Let's check the temperatures. It's marking under 32 degrees. It's like 27 degrees. I'll be seeing if I can catch it when it dies. I have a security camera here in my porch, and maybe on the porch camera I'll be able to catch it around the time it dies. All right, guys. Well, let's turn on this power station. So if you're looking for a power station, Anchor makes some good products. We are on. I just heard a clicking noise over here. One thing that kind of bugged me about the fridge, and these are little things that you might want to pay attention to, because if you're gonna have this in your vehicle, it might start driving you nuts. There's like a little like tick sound. Every like 10 seconds it would do this little tick sound. I don't know what it is, but it kind of annoyed me, but you might get used to it after a while. No big deal. Performance is still great. By the way, this fridge does come with standard with your cigarette lighter port, wire, like you see it's plugged in right now, your DC cable, and then you do have your AC cable, which is your wall outlet power brick, and it uses the same connect. They both use the same connection, which you only have it on this side of the fridge. 62 watts, guys. 62 watts. The highest, like I said, I saw was 80 watts at the startup, and then it kicked down. I think it was a compressor just turning on. I'm gonna have to call it there. We're looking at 57 watts right now. It's gonna be averaging around 60 at the highest. Let's talk about the noise on this Newair fridge. I'm gonna put my little mic here close to the compressor so you can hear it. It's not very loud. It's pretty normal sound to all my other fridges that I've reviewed. I would say it's fairly quiet. And to conclude this video, I want to give my 2 cents on this fridge. I think this fridge, if you're looking at it from the camping, overlanding point of view, this fridge is perfect if you're going on a day trip, like let's say to the beach. You're gonna go do a hike. You can leave this in the back of your truck, come back, get your snacks, your waters. I don't think this is a good fridge for a 2-3 day camping, weekend trip, unless you're going by yourself, or unless you're going to be very minimal with your food and water. I guess this would be good. But for my standards, when I take my kids and my family out, this would barely cover just for drinks, I think. Day trips, stuff like that, perfect. And I say that because the weight of the fridge is perfect, the size of the fridge is perfect. This will fit in a small crossover in a little Subaru or something. So I think it's perfect with that. Newair has been a good brand from what I've reviewed in the past, but if you've had a bad review, we'll leave it down in the comments below. So overall, pricing $399 without a battery. It's still, obviously, it's a lot of money, but if you really want something like this, then this is perfect. I really like this fridge. I think that'll be it for this review video. If you have this fridge, leave the comments down below. Tell us what you think about it, if you have any experience with it. And that's about it on this video. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.